In this video, I'm going to show you how to create some really simple shapes in Desmos using the Polygon tool, where the polygons have been defined in tables. So we're going to start at desmos.com and click Graphing Calculator. And I'm going to kind of click and drag my screen because I'd like to draw my little house in this positive quadrant. So the menu that you need is this little plus in the top left-hand corner, and you click Add Item and then Table. Desmos automatically puts the table in for you, and all you need to do now is list the coordinates of the vertices of the polygon that you want to draw. So I'm going to start at the origin, so I'm going to go 0, 0. The minute I do that, that point is plotted for me on my graph. So if I think about a house with nice straight walls, I'd like the x coordinate to be the same, I'll go straight up, but I want a y coordinate of 4 in this case. And then I'm just going to show you what happens if I just think about the house as a small rectangle to start with. So I'm going to go straight across to the opposite corner, which would be the same height but a different x value. So I go 5 and 4 and then straight back down again. So we're going back down to an x coordinate of 5 and a y coordinate of 0. Now at the moment, if you imagine those 4 points joined up would just make the kind of rectangle that defines a house. So sometimes what people do is they think about that and then they forget about defining the roof. Now, if I want a point for the roof, I would need to make sure that it is inserted in the table in the correct place, because with Desmos, you need to define these points in clockwise order. So I need to put it in between these 2 points in my table. So if I go to the row that defines the point just before the one I want, click in the X column and hit enter, I will get a new blank row appear in my table, which can be really useful as you're creating these shapes. So I'm going to go with 2.5 because I wanted it halfway between these two, and then 6 high. To make sure I can kind of really visualize what this looks like, go to the next line down and type the word polygon. It needs to have a lowercase p at the front, and then just look at the headings of your table. So I've got x1, just type the 1 and it'll automatically make it a subscript. Do a little comma and then y1 and close your brackets, and the minute you do that, Desmos automatically colours your polygon in for you. So it could be done here, but you probably want to change how it looks. So the thing you need to be able to do is use a long click on this coloured circle. If you click it once quickly, it will disappear altogether. But if you long click and hold it for about 2 seconds, you get up a formatting menu. So there's lots of things that you can change about your polygon in here. Type of line, the thickness of the line, you might want to make it thicker, and the opacity of both the line and the fill. So, you know, how bold do you want that line to be? 1 is completely coloured in, you can go all the way down to like 0.1 and it's very faint. So I'm going to leave mine at 0.9. I'm actually not going to worry about the opacity of my fill because I don't even want it to fill it in. I'm just going to toggle that off and change the outline to purple. The last thing I might want to do in terms of formatting the way that house looks is I want to get rid of the green points that I've defined on each of the corners. I don't need to see them anymore. So go to the table and just click this circle in your table once. So this is where you can use the quick click and the points are no longer shown on your graph, which is great. So I'm going to continue using that method to draw a polygon that represents a door and a window. I'm going back to my add item menu, back to table, and I'm going to draw 2 more polygons. Okay, so at this point, if you have a look at what I've done, I've created a polygon for the door and the window. Just want to draw your attention to the fact that every time I add a new table, Desmos gives it slightly different headings. So the first polygon was x1 and y1, second table has x2 and y2. So when you define your polygon in the next line, these values need to match the headings of your table. And that's all you need to kind of pay attention to, really. This is just a really simple outline, but I might think, well, I'm really happy with that actually. What I'm going to just do is make it look a little bit more artwork-like by turning the grid off. So the spanner menu in the top right is your graph settings. You can remove the grid and the X and Y axes to give yourself a completely blank background. And then make sure you're signed into Desmos and click the Save button. Give your graph a title. The other thing you might want to just do is hide the input pane, and then you've got a lovely clean piece of artwork here. So click your little share icon in the top right hand corner, copy this link and send it to anybody that you'd like to share it with. Good luck with all your creations.